When we received this promo here at the Church of Trance from one of our favorite artists on one of our favorite labels, Regenerate, we ecstatically reached out to Jan De Jong, otherwise known as Angelus, and how could we not love that name, to learn more about Deus Valente and its heavenly inspired origins and what big things he has on the radar for 2024. Hi Jan, can you tell us what is the definition of Deus Valente and what does it mean to you?
Came from the Latin phrase Deus Valente, which means God willing, which I thought was a positive message, but rather than just copy that, use it word for word, me and Sean, we just wanted something that was just still a little bit different, and that's how it ended up as Deus. Also massive into video games and sci-fi, so I know I've seen Deus Ex, like Deus Ex Machina. I remember seeing titles and it was like, wow, it sounded powerful. So that's what it means to me. It's just a positive message.
You released some of our favorite Angelus tracks on Regenerate, aka Not Changin', On Fire, Fireworks, and Sanctuary. So as a resident on the label, how does Deus Valente separate itself from the others?
Something that I went through with Deus Valente was I wanted to go for something groovy. That was the whole basis of the track. It wasn't so much about like emotional breakdown or vocals, which my other tracks have had. It was more just about trying to get a bit of a groove going and a bit of a vibe, and just sort of going with that. And then it somehow still kind of got some of those more traditional uplifting elements in there. But yeah, I feel like it was just a different kind of arrangement, a different kind of vibe I went for it. And that's something that I know Regenerate really want. They don't just want stuff that sounds the same as everything else. They're looking actively for things that are a little bit different. I think that's what Sanctuary and Deus Valente have been about. It's just I try and do something different in the tracks that I've not done before. That's what I go for. Always a real pleasure to have a release on the label, you know, and I really sort of make it my mission every year to try and get at least one out with Regenerate. Obviously massive fans of Sean, and I'm glad that they keep wanting me on the label and keep releasing my tracks.
Can you share what moment sticks out from the creative process that brought Deus Valente to life?
It was all about the groove. And I had this idea in my head that it's easier to get groove at lower BPMs. That's like the first sort of initial idea. So it started off as like 132, and then it went to 134. And I think I still had a lot of elements that you would expect in maybe a faster track. So the BPM kind of slowly kept going up. And by the time it got to 138, I was like, well, you know what? I feel like it still has some of those more trippy, kind of groovy bits in there. And it has that sound that you would expect in this kind of BPM range. You know, maybe Regenerate would like that. And yeah, they did. But that was definitely funny to see how the track sort of transitioned. Probably like going from like one style to another. Every time it went up a little bit in BPM, but all came together in the end.
So what's on the radar for Angelus in 2024?
I'm probably not releasing as many tracks this year as I have done previously. I want to try different things, and I really want to just push what I'm doing to the best of my abilities and learn on the way. I had a release last year with Liam, Melly and Jessica called Unbroken, and Armin played that on A State of Trance, and it was just like, yes, this is what I want. So I've got a release, going to be Deus Valente, which comes out on Regen first Friday in April, and then next month I have a new track coming out on Chasing Dreams with CGR Own Pitch. Really looking forward to that. And also I've got my first ever more tech trance track coming out, which I'm quite excited about. It's definitely something different, but I've still tried to keep different parts of just me and what I enjoy when it comes to making the music. There's lots of work going on, but it's definitely going to be exciting this year on the production front. Gig front as well, still got a few exciting things to announce. There's been a few bits of bad news which have stopped certain things from being announced, but The next one that has been announced for me is got a free summer all dayer in Manchester for Blueprint at the Zombie Shack. I think I've DJ'd there more than anywhere for my mate Ricky Denton and that whole Blueprint crew. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully the weather's good, and hopefully I'll see some of you there.
At the very beginning of the track, the intro gives us a hint that we're in for something exciting with that thumping bass line and techie vibe that drops us into that build-up. The chord progression and the pads take us on a journey as they build into multiple levels and into the drop, where that tech vibe converses with the pads into a smooth top-line melody and a very ethereal chant that lightly carries with the driving low end through the end of the track. We're excited to make this as one of our top picks for April 2024 here at the Church of Trance.